Welcome back in. Trey Lowell here with Lowell Productions. Today's video is going to be centered around a question that I get several times a month, and that is, Trey, how are you getting gigs? How are you getting jobs? What's really paying the bills? And honestly, the conversation that I really want to have is filming versus editing. First question, I guess, here, filming versus editing, is which pays the bills the most? And unfortunately, I have to say editing. And I say unfortunately, really, because editing is the one thing that a lot of times keeps me inside. Shooting, as I do a ton of shooting inside, at least there is the ability to go outside and do shooting. Whereas when it comes to editing, for the most part, yes, I edit on my laptop, but really for most projects, I'm over on my iMac, the beast of the camera with 2 screens, really because just workflow wise and the speed of the computer, it totally makes sense to use the iMac. So editing is probably what I spend, if you were to time lapse my week, kind of what my week workflow looks like, I am in front of the computer, I'd probably say about 80–90% of the time. Now, I know a lot of videos that I put out there online, I am kind of filming behind the scenes of myself, like shooting, sometimes editing, but really more focused on like product videography, doing gym videos, hunting videos, things like that. So kind of what I'm putting out there might make it seem like what's paying the bills is filming. Really what truly is the editing. Editing is what gets me retainer fees. It's kind of one of those situations where a few years of being in the edit bay by myself, learning some tricks of the trade, really has gotten me to the point now where a lot of people, because of iPhones and smartphones and just cameras in general, a lot of people can shoot and shoot decent. So what I mean is that they can pull their phone out, boom, go horizontal, get a nice little video, vertical if they absolutely have to, and then they can just go, I'm gonna pass this off to someone like Trey, or maybe even someone like yourself. And that's where the editing and the money can come in. Whether it be a 501c3 nonprofit, whether it be a local business, whether it be a gym, whether it just be a church, you name it. What I have found, and sorry for the AC unit clicking on here in the garage if you hear that, what I have found is that people just don't have the time and can't make their videos sexy enough in the edit bay, so they like to pass it off to me. And that leads me into retainer fees for editing and even sometimes for shooting, but mainly on the editing side. Retainer fees are something where I view it as I'm giving a little bit up on how much I'm gonna make on a per project basis for more of a guarantee on a monthly basis. And what I've just found, whether it be in the editing process or just the workflow process, when the client has gotta do some of the legwork, whether it be like I have a client that I edit their podcast, and so they do their Zooms, they do their podcast, and then they send it to me. We kind of both have skin in the game, and it allows for me and them to kind of work together. And also I think they're a lot more understanding in regards to how long things might take, if things had to be doctored up, ums and ahs cleared out, or mistakes made. It's just a nice kind of mutual agreement between the two, myself and the client. And I think that just really works well. And like I said, on a month-to-month basis, we can do some step and repeat, and then little by little, we can then try to kind of implement new things into our retainer, or new, kind of styles and formats and colors and lower thirds. Now, all that to be said, I think the key to the editing and then the retainer fees is going to be, you have to have some guidelines with your client, whether that be the amount of videos you're gonna do, kind of the amount of back and forth, or just the overall month, what they can and can't get for that amount. And I think if you can create those guidelines and you can form a relationship with that client, retainers are great. But if I'm hired to shoot, I might make a premium for that day of filming, but also I have to bring the camera, I've gotta have the lighting, I've gotta have probably multiple cameras, I'm gonna want multiple pieces of glass, I might want my gimbal, I'm gonna need a monitor, I'm gonna need audio gear, and I list off all those things just to say that that's where, while this is my favorite thing to do, it's definitely the most overhead. When it comes to editing, you're talking a laptop for many of us out there, because the Mac M1s are ridiculous. I don't have one yet. Or maybe an iMac like myself. And when it comes to editing, you might have that and a $300 software, and you could make thousands off of that. Whereas you're just gonna have to invest a lot, or you're gonna have to rent a lot of gear to do a lot of the shooting. Both of these skill sets can definitely pay well. And I don't want to discourage anyone from completely going in one direction. Maybe you want to aspire to be a cinematographer. I think that's great. Or you just want to be a video editor. That's fine as well. But I think in my particular case, and I think a lot of you guys out there, you're learning both of these simultaneously. And all that to be said is that I just want, you know, those that have reached out, those that maybe wonder, this really is the passion. This is what pays. And, you know, so if you're out there, if you're looking for new clients, you're looking for new kind of, I guess, products to offer, don't get discouraged or be ashamed if really the vast majority of your time is spent at the editing bay, because that is what's paid my bills now for years and years. And it's tough to want to like share that I'm just sitting in front of a computer, you know, with the time lapse. That's kind of what I'm doing most of my day. I'd love to show off that this was in my hand. I'm filming beautiful things, beautiful people. We're out and about, and we're not just in one place, but the truth of the matter is, editing is the one thing that I think most of us should be excited to get better at, hone those skills, because I found that a lot more work comes from the editing side than the shooting side. So, you know, overall, it's just some truth bombs that I wanted you guys to hear and to understand. And for any of those that have comments, questions, concerns, drop it in the comments section below. And as always, guys, it's Trey Lowell with Lowell Productions. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like the content I keep creating on this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video. Second time I had to film this damn video. I was using this, my damn shotgun mic. I got it nicely placed over me, even though I just cranked it down. Gonna have to fix that later. Had some issues with my old faithful Zoom box. The way I was recording like an idiot, I had my second channel just blasting, and it was picking up some weird noise, and I don't know why I didn't deactivate it. But shooting versus editing, you do what you prefer. Just wanted you guys to know where I stand, what's paying my bills, keeping my family alive and fed. Truth of the matter is, I'd love to be a cinematographer for a full-time gig, but that's just hard as hell. There's so many talented people out there. There's talented editors as well. So being kind of a hybrid, someone that can do both, that might be my best advice, just because if you can do both, you can cut a lot of costs. All right, no more yapping, I'm out. Oh. Anybody like the new setup? Drop a comment if you noticed. BTS coming. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. The audio just...